Hey everyone. Getting lots of questions, following up, asking for follow-ups on stuff from last videos. If you're sick of watching me, well, just throw this thing away. Um, Lots going on. The main couple ones being bought the house last week. Yay. Closed on that on Tuesday. Even the closing was a little bit of craziness, just in that um, Monday was a holiday. My rate lock, I had a 60-day rate lock at 4.375, so it was a really good rate, and it expired at the end of the day Tuesday, which means I had to initiate the wire transfer by Saturday. But, I don't know. I've never bought a house before, but I'm not used to that financial proctology exam that they give you. That's craziness. And I had liquidated some money from my investment account, and what was it? I liquidated it after the last statement, so they needed a snapshot, but they don't accept like screenshots or something. And it was a Robinhood account, and it didn't format the PDF, didn't format in a way it cut off the left margin a little bit, and so they couldn't see some numbers. And they're like, "Nope, we can't take that money." I'm like, "I transferred $13,000 to pay for this," and they're like, "Yeah, you can't use the $13,000 to pay for your down payment." I'm like, "Get my money. I can freaking do what I want with it." They're like, "Yeah, we know it's your money. Go spend it on other things." I'm like, "Damn it." So I had to sit there waiting for deposits to come in. As an insurance broker, I get like 20 deposits a month. There's constantly money flowing in from different carriers paying me commissions. And finally, the money came in on Saturday, the last day, which was the day I had the signing at 11 o'clock. So I'm like, do I go try to get to the bank before? No, the bank doesn't open till 10. So do the signing, run out of the office, run out of the house with my mom, who's can't remember anything and doesn't know why anything's happening. And we run down to the bank and we take care of the wire transfer. Yay. Go eat lunch. And thank God I had my cell phone out and on the table, because the cell phone comes up and it rings and I look at it and it says Citibank San Marcos. I'm like, why is Citibank calling me? I was just there. And they called me and they said, something didn't go right. Do you want to come back in later today or on Tuesday? I'm like, no, I got to get back in. Waitress is bringing our food out. And I'm like, boxes, boxes for everything. And we just threw everything in boxes, ran down to the bank, and got there 8 minutes before they closed. Walked in the door at 1:52, and they were like, man, we were locking this door at 2 o'clock. So they had everything. They just filled something out wrong and it didn't go through. And they had everything filled out correctly, and I just needed to sign. But that change, my rate, if I hadn't funded it on Tuesday, my rate lock would have expired, and it would have been well more than a point more. It would have been $850 a month more for 30 years. It's like, holy crap, that would have been an important oversight. So anyway, got that done at the very last second. Everything closed on Tuesday last week, so a week ago today. And yay, I now own the house, which is great. I never had that moment of waking up and being like, oh, this is my new house. It's the same house I've been waking up in for 28 years, so it's not all that exciting to me, frankly. I don't have any money now. That's all I know. Where'd all my money go? Jeez. Um, but I was able to get that done. The good news is, I mean, according to Zillow, I got the house for almost $200,000 under market now. From the time we started talking to them back in September or October, the markets continued to move, and they didn't really move the price. So, landlords were amazing to work with. They were getting a little antsy toward the end, but they were very willing to work with us while I put everything together, and they knew they were giving me a good price. When I first started this thing, I thought it was about 50,000 under market, but it's more than that. So, I put a pretty hefty down payment down, and so now I've got equity. I'm not cutting it really tight, which is a good feeling. Um, Mom, everyone's asking me about mom's brain, and I appreciate those of you who call and ask. Please always remember that mom is lately not more than 3 feet away from me most of the time. She's out at the dentist right now. I've got Savannah taking her to the dentist and doing some other errands, so she's not here right now. But it is, her brain's just getting worse and worse. I mean, the last month has been really bad. The last week has been bad. It's just degenerating quickly. I've seen signs of this for 10 years, but the last 3 months have been worse than the last 5 years as far as how quickly it's progressing. So she's finally hit that slope where things just start going bad. She loses her purse every day. No, every day. There was one day 2 weeks ago on Saturday. She lost her purse 5 times in one day. She kept finding it. My purse is gone, and she's getting that kind of paranoia. Um, and then she'd find it, then she'd lose it, then she'd find it. It's like it's in the house. So she lost it last Sunday, 8 days ago, 9 days ago. We haven't found it. I mean, she hid it. And the thing is, I know it's in the house. We were the only two people in the house. She was standing in the kitchen saying, I got to go shopping because all the stores are going to be closed because tomorrow's a holiday. I'm like, that's not the way grocery stores work anymore. And Savannah can go shopping for us. That's why she's living here. She's taking care of things like that. And Mom said, oh, good. And she went upstairs, or she went, I was in the living room. She went up the hallway. I lost sight of her. She came back down without her purse a few minutes later and had changed clothes. And then like an hour later, she's like, I lost my purse. I can't find it anywhere. So there's nobody in the house. There's nobody coming or going. She had it an hour ago. It's here somewhere. We can't find it. I mean, we've tossed the place. We've turned the place upside down. She now claims, she said this on Friday, and this gives you an idea of where her brain is, that roving gypsies have stolen her purse. She says that she saw someone, now this story keeps changing. At first she said she saw someone drive away in a black SUV. Well, Savannah, who lives with us, has a black SUV. And she said, I just knew that that's where my purse was, in that SUV. And that's 5 days after it disappeared. I don't know why someone or Savannah would keep it for 5 days after it disappeared. And now she says that it was a pickup truck with many people in the pickup truck, and every house had someone in front of it tossing things into the pickup truck. Like, you sure you didn't just watch the trash guys come by or something? I mean, it sounds like a trash truck. And she swears that that's where it went. And she just knows that her purse was on that and it got taken away. Well, 8 days later, no one's used her phone. I've talked to Verizon. Nobody's used her credit cards. So if it was stolen, these are the world's worst thieves. They haven't used her credit cards. They haven't used her phone. So it's not stolen. It's here in the house somewhere, and she's done a good job of hiding it. We had a time earlier where she lost her purse for 4 days, and we tossed the house, and finally it popped up in a drawer where we weren't expecting it. It's going to be in the kitchen, or it's going to, in the microwave. No, we use the microwave all the time. But it's going to be like in the garage under something. I don't know. It's so damn frustrating, though. Obviously, I mean, there's so many things where she's getting worse, and it really scares me that she's starting to make stuff up. It's not the first time that she's made stories up where I'm just like, that's not what happened. She was talking about, we saw Tony Gwynn Jr. on TV recently, and she says, oh, his dad was so nice. I used to talk baseball with him all the time at the ballpark. I was like, say what? And she goes, oh yeah, I used to walk around the ballpark and I would see him and we'd sit around and talk baseball for a long time. And that happened many times. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Because she's never gone to a baseball game without me, and I'm sitting there next to her. If Tony Gwynn was around, I would have been talking to him. And she's like, well, you don't know, when I went to the bathroom, it was there. Like, between our seats and the local ladies' room, you met and talked to Tony Gwynn several times. And it's like, oh, so her mind's starting to make stuff up. She can't remember anything. She's just round and round. And the thing that scares me the most is she's starting to get paranoid about things. Like I say, roving gypsies stole her purse. And it's going to wind up being under her bed or something like that. So that's moving, and it ain't moving well. She thinks that at least 6 or 7 people live with us. It's just Savannah. She's lived here for 2.5 months now. It's just one person, but she keeps saying they're doing this, they're doing that. She likes Savannah. She's not sure about all these other people who are living with us. I'm like, Mom, it's all Savannah, and you like her, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, those of you who've experienced this know what I'm talking about, and it's freaking painful. And people ask me, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I have no freaking idea. I'm just trying to get Mom used to the idea of someone being here. And then the next step is her getting used to the idea of someone else helping me. And, she's resistant. Yeah, people who have this, they forget that they forget. She thinks she's right. And this stuff's going on in her brain. I was talking to a neighbor who went through this with his mother. And he was saying, this happens in their brain, and they know that that's what they saw. Mom knows that she saw roving gypsies, throwing stuff in front of every house into a truck. So anyway, she's pretty convinced of it, and there's no backing down on it. And the story keeps evolving and changing, but she knows that that's what happened. So, fun. Beyond that, business is good. I was hanging out with friends, going to baseball games. So there I am. Hey, kept this one under 10 minutes. I love hearing back from you after I send these things. Let me know if there's anything more I can talk to you about. Give me a call. If you're a friend of my mom's, which many of you are, call her. She likes hearing from people, even though she's not very much fun to talk to because she doesn't remember anything. And It's a boring conversation, I know, because it's round and round asking the same three questions, but she does like hearing from people. And also, if you call me and ask about her, just know she's probably within a few feet of me. She comes in, she just stands in the doorway that you can see behind me and just stares at me. I'm like, what? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, you got the rest of the house to be in. Do you have to be within 4 feet of me staring at me? It's weird. So, yeah, that's happening too. And it's funny because she's still fast and strong and smart, kind of, and funny and nice, but she's got all these other things going on too. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. More updates coming when there's something more to update you on. Take care.